Hey, it's LSF here today, and today I'm here to talk about auto theft again, and this one is actually because the government of Canada on a stat holiday weekend, a long weekend, releasing a press release. And they actually had made an announcement with several cabinet ministers, and they actually talked about it on a Monday, which is Victoria Day. I don't know why they did that. I don't know, is it because they don't want people to know about it? What they're looking at is they've outlined this national action plan to combat auto theft, which will include stronger penalties for thieves and increase information sharing between police agencies, government officials, and border enforcement. So when they actually went and had this press release, they did this in Brampton, Ontario, where there's a lot of car thefts there as well. So the plan primarily includes previously announced measures to fight auto theft, including the increased funding for border and various police agencies, proposing a change in the criminal code. So you can see here they say they're changing in the criminal code. So the government is proposing new offenses targeting ringleaders and carjacking gangs, and those who are laundering money so that they can actually go through organized crime. So while the National Action Plan, so they're saying that there's a handful of proposals in the plan that were introduced as part of the federal government's budget in 2024, which is officially titled the C69, which hasn't been passed yet. Okay, so most stolen cars are sold overseas, particularly in Africa and Middle East. And they're saying that the money from the stolen vehicles are being fueling criminal activities in Canada. What they're saying is they're trying to actually solve this problem with the root cause. Okay, I don't know who would know what the root cause is, but they're saying that the plan also allows courts to order someone to keep their bank accounts open to assist a police investigation and bar financial institutions from closing the account if criminal activity is suspected. This allows investigations to actually follow the money path and that they can actually see what is happening and what they're going to be doing with these changes. So this allows them to investigate and really look at following the money path and where the money is actually going. The government is also proposing an aggregated factor in sentencing applied to adult offenders who are involved a younger person in their crimes. So what they're saying is if we have people who are under 18 who are involved in the crime, this will allow the police to target criminal gang leaders rather than the lower ranked ones, which is often under 18 offenders, and you really can't do much with those. So they're targeting not the youngster who's doing it or the teenager, but the people who are orchestrating and using these resources. Like, who is providing these teenagers to do the crime? So the root cause is not the actual teenager who's doing the theft, but the root cause is the adult criminal who is leading them or forcing them to do the crime. So number 2 on this is intelligence and information sharing. So they're enhancing between the municipal, provincial, and federal and international police. So all the police of these provincial, municipals, and also custom officials in support of criminal investigation, charges, and prosecutions. So they're actually joining all the forces and having information shared so that they can quickly act on it, right? Because they're saying that they're coordinating and monitoring the progress and exploring new initiatives to work together. And they're maintaining strong relationships to share information, and that allows the CBSA to continue on acting 100% of the referrals from police while also conducting searches based on its own intelligence. And then the third is the intervention. So they're looking at improving, will allow more shipping containers to be examined and also increase the capacity of the CBSA. And they're also looking at new tools to target scanning it and all this. So they're increasing the capacity to target and search containers, and that will actually help reduce the vehicles leaving the country. So they should have done this at first, right? First thing is block the ports. That will actually help reduce anything going to Africa or any of the west, mid, east areas. And that should help reduce. But then, some people have revin. We've seen news about revinning and cars being sold again. So there's a lot of things that's happening. And you can see here they have some quick facts. about this, about what they've done. So let's look at these points and see what they're saying here. So they're saying that the government of Canada has been engaging with industry and other stakeholders on auto theft, including port authorities, rail and shipping companies, as well as the automotive and insurance industries as part of the collective effort to combat this crime. They didn't say which manufacturer really. And then they're saying that investigations in auto theft are led by local police, the RCMP, OPP, and the Quebec province police, and the CBSA are working together in an integrated task force to target organized crime, including those involved in stolen vehicles. So to date, for 2024, they've actually intercepted 1,205 vehicles stolen in railways and ports. I think that's still very little compared to how many are being stolen. And then they're saying that the criminal code has provision to address motor vehicle thefts at all stages of the crime. That includes offenses that precede the actual theft, and the possession and trafficking in stolen vehicles, and measuring the proceeds of the crime. And also the provision of the organized crime and also the violence of during theft and carjacking used with a weapon or assault. So they're looking at modifying the criminal code, and hopefully that will help some of it. But again, I don't know. And then they're also looking at transnational organized crime are believed to be involved in the export of stolen vehicles from Canada. However, most vehicle thefts involve lower level threat groups, with violent street gangs being the most prevalent. And they're saying that most stolen vehicles are exported and destined for Africa and Middle East. Some stolen vehicles also remain in Canada, enable other crimes to be committed with the vehicle, and are destroyed afterwards. Alright, so that's where they have the facts. And one thing that you would see is there's not a lot of things talking about manufacturers. And I think a lot of people are criticizing car manufacturers because they really don't see that there's a lot of work being done. So what do you think? Do you think that the car manufacturers are doing what they should be doing? Leave in the comments below. What do you think? Follow me on Instagram at LSFT Videos. You can see updates on my experience with the NX 450H Plus, which may not be shown on any future videos. You can reach out to me via direct messaging if you have any questions on your Lexus. If you like this video, you can provide me feedback in the comments below, like this video, share it with your friends. This definitely will help with the YouTube algorithms. Press the subscribe button and bell icon and get notified when new videos show up. And lastly, if you want to support me further, you can provide me a super thanks, or visit my Amazon storefront before you purchase anything from Amazon, or you can purchase products from the list on the items that I've been using with my vehicle or at home at no extra cost to you. And now let's continue with the video. Alright, so this is the 2024 York Regional Police Theft Vehicle Dashboard. I've actually shown this before in my previous videos, and this really tells you what models, what brands are stolen most in your region. Your region actually has about 1 million population, and it's actually a good information to look at. So 1-ish million population out of the 40-ish million that we have in Canada, it's about 2% of the population. So we can see here, number 1, we have Toyota, 332 vehicles stolen. And then we have Jeep with 144, we have Ram with 137, Ford with 118, and number 5 is Lexus with 114. And recently Lexus has gone up a little bit, so I think in a short time it'll become number 4. And then Honda with 73, Land Rover 62, Mercedes with 44, Acura with 38, and BMW with 34. Then when we look at the models, Ram 1500 132, Tundra 125, Highlander 123, the Jeep Wrangler 108, the Ford F-150 74, RX's 70, we have the CR-V with 46, 4Runner 33, Land Rover RR Sport 27, and the Acura RDX 22. So now let's put our focus onto Lexus. So Lexus right now, 114 We see here the RX with 70, but we also have an RX 350 with 3. So the RX is about 73. We have 14 for the new TX. We have 11 on the GX, 8 on the NX, 5 on the LX, 2 on the ES, and 1 on the RC. So it seems, okay, RX still seems to be the bigger one that's being stolen, definitely. So let's go and now look at just for the month of May. So up to today, which is the 23rd, you can see 29 vehicles, Lexus vehicles being stolen. So they're number 2 right now. And what's concerning is the TX, okay? We have 12 RX being stolen, and we know RX is being stolen a lot. But the new TX has the CAN bus encrypted, right? So meaning they can't just pull the headlight wires and just start the car that way. So they can still steal based on the OBD port. So they actually will program a new key fob, or they can do a relay attack, which means they will amplify your key fob and start your car and drive away. Looking at it, for the month of May, 12 RXs, 10 TXs. That's a lot. 3 GXs, 3 NXs, and 1 LX. And if we go back and look at, so the first week of May, 3 RXs, 1 GX, 1 LX. The week after, we see 6 RXs and 5 TXs. So they're almost comparable, even though the chart looks like it's a big difference, but it's only one vehicle difference. Okay, so 12 to the 18th, we have 3 TXs, 2 RXs, 2 GX, and 1 NX. TX is now going beyond the RX. So owners of TX, I think it's important right now for you guys to really be aware that it seems like your car is now targeted to be stolen. I don't know if they will bring it to Africa. It's such a big car. But if they are going to Africa or the Asian countries, they don't have TXs in those countries. TX is only made exclusively for the North American market. So I'm a little bit concerned. And maybe there is a demand for TX in Africa because they want a larger vehicle. But it does seem like there is a trend here. So we look at this week right now. You can see there's 2 TXs being stolen, 1 RX and 2 NX. So definitely there is a trend for the TX to be stolen. So TX owners, be careful. If you can park into the garage, park in the garage. If you have a steering wheel lock, put it on. If you need an OBD port lock, put it in. Or if you need IGLA system, maybe consider putting it in. So this is what they say. We picked up our new vehicle from the dealer on Thursday, and it was stolen from our driveway last night. Had the car for only 1.5 days. So you can see here, this is the car, that's the TX. They broke the window and found a way to start the car. Car fobs were far away from the car, and they found another way to gain access to the system. There was a white or silver Audi A5, we believe pictured here, that was driving slowly around the neighborhood, and the theft came out of this car. So definitely, they're not using the CAN bus attack here. They broke a window. The front windows are dual pane, so it's not as easy to break. So they probably broke the back, and actually got in. I'm guessing this will be an OBD port. They duplicated the key and used the key to drive away. But they broke a window. Another thing, I think this is not new news. Thieves are using Apple AirTags to steal vehicles. So you can see a police holding an AirTag. I'm just going to quickly go over here what they say. So what they're saying is, in a TikTok video, the constable are actually showing that someone could put a magnetized AirTag onto the vehicle in the parking lot, marking it to be stolen later on. So what they're saying is they could be hidden in the license plate, the trailer hitcher, or even the gas cap area, so that it can actually, you can drive it away and they'll find your car. And what they're doing is they're actually gathering that information. And people think that if you own an Android phone, you can't track an AirTag. But if you're an iPhone user, you may get a notification saying that there's an AirTag nearby. So really look into those notifications and really inspect the car if that does happen. So if you find an AirTag, you can press down on the silver piece and turn it clockwise to remove the battery so that it can no longer be tracked. So definitely be careful and don't do that at home, taking the battery. Go somewhere else, take it out, then go home, because it will say this is the last part where it was, and it essentially tells you that is where your AirTag lost battery. So we know that some people also use AirTags to locate where the car is, but they're also doing the same thing, putting AirTags to find potential car to be stolen, and then if you park it outside overnight, there goes your car. Alright, so be careful with AirTags as well. I hope that you found that this video was informative, and until next video, drive safely. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please comment, like, share this video, and if you want to see more videos like this, you can subscribe to my channel and press that bell icon to get notified when new videos are posted. And if you'd like to support this channel, you can provide me a super thanks. And until next time, cheers.